So, Mr. Bajpai, please be brief while giving the intro of Mr. A.K. Upadhyay, and then we may proceed ahead. Mr. Bajpai. Bajpai ji, unmute कर लीजिए. You can unmute yourself.
Hello. My voice is coming?
Yes, it is coming.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Dr. Lal sir, for giving me opportunity to introduce Sri Upadhyay sir, the author of the book Textile Management Guide for Technicians. The book is published by the Woodhead Publications India. Actually, you have allotted me 4 or 5 minutes to introduce Upadhyay sir. And I think, though I will try to justify myself in these 4 or 5 minutes. But 4 or 5 minutes is not a sufficient time to introduce a textile legend like A.K. Upadhyay. Sri A.K. Upadhyay is the textile graduate and postgraduate in textile technology from GCTI. Hello. Hello. The author of the book has the ample practical knowledge of the textile industry, about 4 decades, and he has the working experience from shop floor to the business head of the top-notch industrial group of the Indians and as well as the African countries. Somebody is disturbing. My voice is coming or not?
It is coming.
Okay,
it is coming. You go ahead.
Okay. Sri Upadhyay sir worked in the worsted, synthetic, cotton, textile with the tremendous work record. He started his career from J.K. Cotton, Kanpur. Am I correct, Upadhyay sir? Okay. Further, his professional journey voyaged from the most prominent company of the India. He successfully handled production management, process engineering, product development, planning, cost, and all management sectors. The working experience from the J.K. Cotton Mill, then I think Lalimli, in the early years, he became the general manager, Raymond's. He served S. Kumar as a chief operating officer. He also worked in OCM as a vice president and President Regd Taylor, Mysore, President and Chief Operating Officer Digjams. Mr. Upadhyay was President and Chief Operating Officer of Indoworth India Limited and Chief Executive Officer in Uniworth Textile Limited. Apart serving in the India, he also worked in the Nigeria and Kenya. In Kenya, he was the business head of the Kennet group of the industries, Kenya. And he worked in Bhojsan Industries PLC, Lagos, Nigeria. And also, he was the profit center head in the International Textile Industries, Nigeria. A lot of award is in his credit of the Sri Upadhyay sir. He has been awarded the Management Excellent Award by the Punjab government. The award was given to him by the Minister of the Industries. Sri Upadhyay sir was also the chairman of the Textile Association India, Indore unit. And as I remembered, he conducted a very successful national seminars and so many conferences. He was very active, and his interviews, various interviews have been published in the textile magazines. And lastly, I think he served as the technical advisor in VOS Group, Texas. Indeed, Sri Upadhyay sir is a great legend in the textile industry and very well-known figure. I am very thankful. I have gone through the book, some part of his book written by him. It is the practical book for the person who are working in the textile industry. And there was a need of such a book in industry. Actually, there are so many books are available in for the technology, textile technology, engineering, and on the subject knowledge. But for the persons who are working in the industry, there was a need of such book. And I think the book will serve the purpose to the all textile fraternity, textile professionals working in the textile industry, in the shop floor to the business head of the position. Thank you, sir. Hello.
Yes. Well said, Mr. Bajpayee. For the personality like Mr. A.K. Upadhyay, this 40 minutes or 45 minutes interview is not sufficient. And in fact, telling about his book and its content will take a whole day. So whatever has been given by Mr. Bajpayee, that is in brief, looking to the time constraint, this interview period, and we have to see the participants who you might have taken time from their busy schedule. So with this, I will take a brief outline of the book from Mr. Upadhyay. Though, as I said, it is very difficult to cover his whole book. It's a vast, it is in my opinion, it is an ocean of knowledge about the textile industry. Whatever you think you want to know about the textile, it is there. It is there to manage the shop floor level. It is there to manage the accounting. It is there to manage sales. It is there to manage marketing. It is there to manage budgets, means everything. There are around 14 chapters, and each chapter has got over 25 heads. So it is difficult to cover all those things in the book, but I will definitely request Mr. Upadhyay to give salient features of the book and areas which are close to his heart. He should inform the participants, and especially the young participants who are all having quest to learn the things while managing or working as textile professional. So my first question to Mr. Upadhyay is that, Mr. Upadhyay, you are a hardcore technocrat having ample shop floor experience. With such wonderful experience, technocrats, Indian technocrats are outsiders. They thought of a book from you on technical issues in production, your innovative inputs, which enabled you to reach to the top. Means there are so many problems coming in production, and technocrats want their solution, how to solve this. It is not there in book. It is not coming from their seniors. So the person of the experience like Mr. Upadhyay, from him it was thought that he will elicit those problems, what type of problems are coming and which are affecting the production, which are affecting the quality, which are affecting the demand, and how he handled those problems while working in the textile companies of high repute. But contrary to all this, Mr. Upadhyay, you have authored a book on textile management. What prompted you to do that, Mr. Upadhyay? Unmute yourself. Unmute. Or
can you hear me now?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, let me thanks to Mr. Lal to encourage me and to initiate my joining in the NISTI. Frankly speaking, Mr. Lal and Mr. K.K. Sharma, who has taken the initiation, and they have encouraged me. And I'm really grateful to be the part of this professional group. And today they have arranged to discuss about my book. I am really grateful for that. I am also thankful to all the participants who have spared their valuable time for this interview. Well, this is a very quite obvious question. Being a technician, being a technocrat in the industry, anybody will expect that he should write something about his experience on the technical field. After working more than 4 decades in the textile industry, I gratefully acknowledge the profound intellectual debt which I owe to this great industry. And I always felt a deep sense of obligation that I should pay back adequately. This is my moral duty to pay back adequately to the promising generation. So instead of taking the technical subject, though I am in the process of writing a next book, which is purely on technical, right from wool procurement to the market, which is on the way. But I preferred that, as was mentioned, and sorry, I have forget to thank Mr. Bajpayee to introduce myself. As he mentioned in his introductory remark, that a lot of books are available on technical subjects. Technocrats are coming from the institutional basic idea they are already having. Nowadays, new technologies are introduced in that industry. Pupils are being given the proper training. There are certain training programs of the individual machineries, and they are learning on day-to-day working as well. So I thought, let me just take up this subject which has not been touched. I also realized that most of the technicians which are serving in the industry, frankly speaking, they cannot do the justice to their duties until unless they have the thorough knowledge of commercial and financial elements of the business. So industries nowadays are quite advanced. A lot of competitions are there. Owners are investing a lot in the modern technology. There are so many stakeholders. So it is very important that business should grow and business should make a profit. So the technicians mostly they are busy in their core subjects. They are taking a lot of precautions in the production fields, manufacturing field, but it is observed that most of the technicians, even after working of many years in the industry, the commercial and financial aspect of the business are not clear to them. Whatever the actions are being taken by them in their own field are not related to the finance or commercial side. So sometimes it happens, though they are working hard, but they don't understand what is their contribution, their direct contribution in the profitability of the business. If the business is not growing, sometimes they don't understand. They always realize that we are working hard, but then what is our fault? Why the business is not growing? What we can do? So I realize that there has to be the proper education for the technocrats as well. So that was my humble, honest efforts in this direction. I have given though it is not a complete management book, but I understood that whatever the basic knowledge required to a technician to understand the overall classical tools of the business are covered. I have tried to cover all those sectors. For example, I have covered the types of the business, type of business styles, risk management, accounting, budget, production planning and control, management information system, costing and cost analysis, cost reduction, sales and marketing, case studies are there, statutory compliances and auditing systems has been covered in this book. Import and exports are there, complete, and the utility is also covered there. So I realize that these are the subjects which are very much essential. If the basic fundamental things are clear to a technician, he can contribute a lot for the progress of the business. That was the basic idea to write this book, Mr. Lal.
Thank you, Mr. Upadhyay. The participants in this event would like to know if your book is worth to them. Means, is it good exchange to their price? I mean to say that you just inform the audience about the targeted readers of your book. Which type of readers you have intended to cover when writing this book?
See, in the textile industries, my target to write this book was that if the students of the textile in the final years, if they go through this book, at least they will understand the basic idea, basic elements of the business. Sometimes what happened, the technician entered in the industry and it takes time to understand their own department. And then for many years, they don't understand how the business is running. And sometimes this is the culture has also been there in the textile industry. Either they are not getting the time or they are not sometimes being allowed also. Though in the recent times, these hindrances are getting reduced, but initially period, the technicians were not allowed to see the other area. And that was the basic mistakes by the management. Anybody who is working in the textile industries, right from the beginner to the junior level management, senior management, and sometimes that business heads also, I realize that they don't have the basic clarity about the business, as I already mentioned. So these all the categories are the targeted areas, and this book will provide them the basic tools of the business. And if they go through seriously the complete book, I believe that they can transform themselves as a techno-commercial full-fledged manager.
Good, Mr. Upadhyay. What I see while going at a glance through your book and its excerpts, that it is not only for technocrats you have written this book. Even layman can start his own textile unit, because you have covered all from primitive to complex issues. How he should form a company, what type of companies are there, proprietorship firm, a limited company, a partnership firm, a sole proprietor firm, everything you have covered. If one thinks of starting a company as a startup, he can go through your book and go through all those things. Budget and accounting, what all, management styles, cost and analysis, management information system, what you told, production planning and controls, cost reduction methods, which is very gray area, not only gray area, very important area. Everybody wants cost reduction. Sales and marketing, you can produce, but how to sell it and market the product. Import and export, once a person start his A startup, he thinks of exporting it and earning the foreign exchange for the country. He should know the process or methods of importing and exporting. That you have covered. Utilities, which are not the subject of a shop floor persons. Those are the subjects of engineers and other people, other allied services. That also you have covered. There are 14 chapters, vast chapters, and each chapter has got 20 to 25 subheads. In a short interview like this, it is difficult to cover everything. Can you throw light in brief the areas covered in this book which are close to your heart, which you feel are very important for the participants of this event today, and the message which you have drawn from those such areas which are close to your heart, and learning for the technicians to mitigate various challenges which they are facing while working in the textile company. Mr. Upadhyay.
Well, all the topics are close to my heart, in fact, and they are equally important, though. But of course, as I mentioned, that in this competitive age, a lot of competitions are there. It is a consumer markets, buyer markets. So every business man has to be prepared on day-to-day basis and ensure that how to survive on the long-term basis. Customers are very much choosy. They are demanding the product with the lowest price, the best quality, and the minimum time period. So looking to these scenario, every businessman has also to update himself by improving their technology, upgradation, efficiency, productivity. There are so many areas which they have to be on toe and very, very competitive. So ensure that the business where the so many stakeholders are covered is not the owner of the company who is responsible. There are the fate of the so many other people also involved in any business. So it is the responsibility of everyone to ensure that the business should grow and it should continue on the long-term basis. To ensure all those things, a lot of things are required to be done in every area, whether it is a manufacturing, whether it is a sales or marketing, whether it is a finance or HRD or any areas. So to have the competitive, to face the competitive market, one has to ensure that the cost reduction drive must continue on day-to-day basis. Sometimes it is observed that whenever the management is in little bit trouble, they start saying that, okay, let us reduce some cost. And most of the leaders, first of all, they attack on the reduction of the manpower, which is the most valuable asset for any organization. It is realized that whenever people are reducing their skilled manpowers, it is very difficult to find out skilled man in a short notice once again. So that is not the proper solution. In fact, cost reduction drive is a continuous process. It should be taken as the same as the other department functioning. Cost reduction should be a drive which is to be taken by individuals. And this is the responsibility of the leader of the business to involve each and every employee of the business. Sometimes the top management, they discuss something and they take certain decision and they ask the functional heads to introduce that, which may not be practical and sometimes which are not accepted. So cost reduction drive, every individual employees has to be involved. I have observed, I have realized also, and I have experienced that sometimes a lot of wonderful ideas are coming from the shop floor workers. because they are on the shop floor, they are involved, they can give the better solution, they can give the better advice. So, I mean, there has to be a strategic, continuous strategic plan. For example, if we take the dye house, so it starts from right from the procurement. If you are buying a dyes or chemicals, you have to ensure that whatever the negotiation has been depth on the basis of depth of the dyes or the chemicals, the same are being supplied. So every time their depth has to be checked, and the pricing has to be decided according to the depth of the dyes. Sometimes the suppliers also show their smartness. So proper SOPs for each and every function has to be designed properly, has to be written, and religiously to be followed. Continuous efforts should be done to develop the recipes in the dye houses. You should call to the dye suppliers and make them competitive, and always do the trial without compromising in the quality. In one of the organization, I was using the dye star dyes for the many years, and the owners were also quite satisfied. He had a personal relation, so he was not willing to change. I called the SIBA people, and then given them the 2 months time, they have conducted a trial, and then we have realized that in many cases, the cost of the recipe has gone down 1/4. So sometimes normal things are going on in the industries. Nobody goes in detail, nobody take that pain, and things are moving. So observation is very important in each and every area. The other example, in the dye house, you are taking certain lots and the lot size is not appropriate. It is a smaller size. What are the total losses you should calculate? So same thing in the ring frame. People should be quite aware if the production is less or efficiency is 1% less, or end breakage rates are higher by 1 or 1.5. Same thing in the weaving. So what may be the total loss in a month or in a year? So the technicians, sometimes they don't go in such depth. So this is the responsibility of the leader to make a proper format, and then ask them that every month you will do something, and then submit the cost, whatever the saving you have done in your own department. So that drive starts actually. Initiation starts, and a lot of motivations need to be given by the leader. That is the responsibility of the leader. So cost-driven drive is very, very important nowadays. For example, if you discuss about the new project, if you are buying a new machineries, for example, so selection of the machineries itself is a very, very crucial subject. Is not a decision can be taken by one man. All the stakeholders should be involved in that decision. What should be the speed of the machine, what efficiency we can adopt, whether the machines are versatile or not. So what are the advantages we are getting from the other technologies? We should compare in one of the organization when we need to switch over from projectile to rapier looms, which were quite surprised for that organization. So we invited a lot of manufacturers. They have brought their machineries, conducted a trial. Then we have established that, yes, these are the minus points, these are the plus points, and then we should go ahead. One should do the SWOT analysis for any decision, whether it is a selection of plant and machineries, whether it is a sales and marketing decision or financial decisions. Finance peoples are going to approaching certain banks, so they should properly negotiate terms and conditions, because the finance cost is very, very important. So all these are areas where small areas are needed to be thoroughly understood, thoroughly studied, and then the decision should be taken. And this task should be given that this is a continuous process, is a part of our business. and it should not be taken as an extra task or as a burden, but it should be taken religiously. Then and then only cost-saving drive can be taken into organization, and it will go a long way for the survival of the business. In fact, in today's scenario, is very, very important to be aware on day-to-day basis. Mr. Lal.
Very important tips, Mr. Upadhyay, for the working professionals. And I think you have covered many more such case studies in your book, and that will give important guidelines for the young professionals and even those who are working at a senior position to tackle the day-to-day problems, and especially the cost reduction, which is very burning area in each organization, each industry, and for everyone. So one more means 2-3 more important areas are there.
Yeah.
Where the technocrats are concerned or not concerned, whether finance people are concerned or not concerned, account means every cog in system, each cog in system is concerned about those subjects, and those are audit and statutory compliance, and people are very scary about these things. Statutory compliance are becoming very important nowadays, especially when you export. And also, he has gone. Mr. Upadhyay, your connection is out.
Hello. Can you?
Yes, now it is okay.
Yeah, I think in between there, your voice was not clear. Maybe there was
Again, some your internet.
So that's why for last 1 minute I could not hear. Yeah.
Your internet disruption was there.
Yes.
So these are audited statutory compliance, which everybody is concerned. Especially statutory compliance are nowadays very important when you export, and even for local buyers, they are concerned about statutory compliance. There are many nowadays going on, increasing day by day. So going through at a glance, I understand that you have covered at length these issues in your books. Can you please elaborate the audience on these issues and give a tip to, again, young working professionals and other senior people who are facing such problems, how to handle such complex problems which are not their subject?
Yeah.
So far there.
Yeah, then every company as a compulsion, they have to depute an auditor in their company. And there are certain rules and regulations for their appointment, for their duties. They are reporting to the board of directors. So basically, their basic duty is to ensure that the business is running in a right direction. All those are the listed companies. Even those are not listed companies, at the end of the month, they are liable for the profit and loss account. They prepare the balance sheets and which are being approved by the higher authorities. And for the listed companies, it has been signed by the auditors and then submitted to the board of directors and then being sent to the NSEs. So there are a lot of crucial areas in the business, a lot of rules and regulations and laws of the land, which are time to time, sometimes they are changed. But these compliances are basically the duty of the auditor to ensure that it is happening in the right direction. So, companies' laws are there, labor laws are there, for the sales and marketing, GST is there, sale tax are there, for the finance, there are certain rules and regulations. So there are numbers of such laws which are required to be religiously followed to avoid any legal issues to be arised, and which may be may go up to the close of the business sometimes. So as everybody knows that recently, earlier there were a lot of other taxes. Now the GST is there. GST has to be, return has to be filed. Income tax has to be filed properly in time. Then the labor laws, there are plenty number, labor laws are there. Supposed to follow properly. Welfare schemes are there. There are, if the ladies are working, there are certain rules and regulations given to the companies to follow with. So one should under, sometimes the technicians or even the leader of the company, they take them quite lightly. They if there is a delay, they feel okay, it's okay, no problem. But sometimes the issue, it affects the image of the company also. If you are not compiling the proper requirement on time, then notices are coming, your company may be blacklisted. And once all these records are very, very important when you are approaching to a bank for any finance, or if your company is going for the listing, you are approaching to the NSE for the listing. So they see the detailed record of your company. How many cases are there? What are the compliances that have not been done on time? Whether the returns have been filed properly, is there no any queries on your return? Labor laws are being followed properly. How many cases are there which has not been handled properly? Whether the cases filed against any individuals are on the proper ground or not. So all these things are there. Sometimes the soft floor people, they don't understand the importance of such things, which affects the overall business. And it becomes, as I mentioned, become very, very necessary, very important, very for the finance, or you are applying to be listed on NSE. So auditing is as such is not a certain thing which is not so important. And the other thing which I have realized that yes, all these compliances at the end of the month, quarter, or year are being filed, being monitored, it's okay. But to avoid the unpleasant surprises at the end of the season, whether it is a month or quarter or year, there has to be a proper and strong system which has to be followed on day-to-day basis. What is auditing? Auditing is, each and every process in the business are being monitored and getting ensured that they are being followed properly. Let us take in the manufacturing. For example, in the manufacturing area, monitor will see that the efficiency level being achieved are appropriate or not, or the efficiency are being shown is properly or not. The production which you have shown is really synchronizing with the proper the material which has been produced or not. There are so many machineries are being utilized properly or not. Well, if you have taken the machinery speed, whatever, at a certain level, so are you utilizing the machine speed in that level or not? If you are not utilizing, are you giving the proper explanation for that or not? So waste are being properly monitoring of the waste is happening or not? Is the waste level is more than the norms or within the norms? Overall stock levels are being monitored properly. Inventory level is managed properly or not? So these are the manufacturing areas which are being checked by the auditor at the end of the month normally. But my suggestion has always been that technician must ensure on day-to-day basis. They should make a SOP, they should make a proper system so that at the end of the month, they should not get surprised and they should not need to give any unwanted explanation. So on day-to-day basis, they should monitor all this. Quality norms are being properly monitored, not rejections are properly or not, rework are within the norms or not. These are the area which need to be covered by the auditor in a manufacturing area. The same thing in the who is fixing the price, whether prices are fixed of the individual product is matching to the costing or not, proper profit margins have been taken or not, what is the credit policies, is being followed religiously or not. Sometimes to increase the sales people, so they sometimes releases. But then the auditor give the remark that sales has been done without monitoring the credit policy. So the collections are properly done or not, area-wise sales are being monitored or not, agent-wise sales being monitored or not. So credit terms are properly monitored or not. So these the cash flows are being properly monitored or not. Bank balances are being checked properly. Cash flows are being monitored properly. So there are so many areas which auditors need to take care of every month. But to, as I mentioned, to avoid at the end of the month or the quarter, there has to be a proper checklist, which I have given in this book, a thorough checklist for the manufacturing, for the purchase, for the sales, for the finance. On day-to-day basis, it is being checked. I can give the guarantee. I am quite confident I can give the guarantee that there has not been any lacuna in any business. You will see on day-to-day basis, and then you will take the corrective action effectively and efficiently immediately to avoid any issues arises at the end of the month. So that is the importance of the auditing and the compliances of in any business. Mr. Lal.
Fantastic, Mr. Upadhyay. My next question was, in fact, for the case studies, some of which you have already covered, and rest may be there in your book. Time is also running out. Your internet connection is also disturbing. So I will directly come to the last question and then hand over the floor to Mr. Upadhyay for question answer session, because they should also be given time.
Sure.
So my last question is to you is that if one is interested to buy your book, how to go about it? And is there any special discount you are offering to the participants of this event, and how to get it? Mr. Upadhyay.
Sure. This book has been published by the Woodhead India, which is in Delhi. And Mr. Ravindra Saxena is the head of that. So I have shared his number and email ID as well in my different messages. And I have also requested to the publisher to provide since the cost of the book is approximately, it was not in my control. It is the publisher who decides the price of the book. Although I wanted that this book reaches to most of the concerned peoples for the benefit of the textile fraternity, but the price is approximately 4,900 something. But I have requested publisher, and he has agreed that he will provide 25 to 30% discount if he get my reference. So any individual who is interested to buy this book, he can give my reference, and he can approach to me also directly. I will help him, and he will get that book from there. But my humble request is that this is the outcome of so many technicians, so many professionals worked with me, and the industries I have worked for is the outcome of everything. And there is a contribution of each and every colleagues who has worked with me, and companies who has allowed me to go through to this confidential information which I have covered in this book. So this will be a really valuable assets for the pupils who are working in the textile industry. So price is a little higher, but they can get the discount. And please go through and encourage more and more students also, and the concerned pupils who can keep in the library. They can also, buy this book from Mr. Saxena, who will get the discount, sufficient discount. Thank you.
Fantastic, Mr. Upadhyay. You have done well. You have fared well in your interview. And then I think participants who are interested will definitely go by your advice. And it is good that you have given credit to all those who have worked with you and their contribution in the books. when all have contributed, it is not your contribution only. When
Right.
all have contributed, definitely it will be very worth book. And that is up to the participants and readers to take a decision about buying or not. Now I give a floor to Mr. Bajpai. My request to participants is that be brief your question, unmute yourself and then ask your question. And wherever questions are, those who are not asking and questions are in chat box, Mr. Bajpai can take it up. Mr. Bajpai.
Thank you, Dr. Lal sir. There are already 2 questions in the chat box
Okay.
by the Arnab Chaudhary. He asked, I'm reading his chat. First technical, sir, out of 2, first technical application of the material and second is the commercial part of the enterprise in industry. What roadmap shall be more relevant for proceeding with the study and understanding the textile management? Upadhyay sir, please.
I would request Mr. Arnab to explain a little bit in detail so that I can explain in a better way. If he is there, Mr. Arnab.
Mr.
Or
Arnab,
you can repeat the question once again, please.
sir, I'm repeating.
Yeah.
Actually, he is saying that
Yeah.
there is the 2 applications, two management component.
Yeah.
First is the technical application of the material, and
Yeah.
second management component is the commercial part of the enterprises of the
Right.
industry.
Correct.
Okay. Then he is asking what roadmap shall be more relevant for the proceeding with the study and understanding the textile management.
Right.
Technical part, technical applications, material processing applications, or commercial part of the.
Sure. So
Okay,
what I understood, I will take up the matter in 2 parts. One is, yes, of course, there is a technical part of any material. Let's take the example of raw material, cotton or wool. Sometimes it happens to reduce the cost. There is a tremendous pressure from the management to rationalize the recipes in the raw material, and technicians has to follow the instruction. But it is the duty of the technician to go ahead without compromising the quality. That is his skill. For example, if I take the example in the wool and worsted trades, I have seen that in a big organization, certain pupils in the top position arrive, they joined, and they find that, okay, one quality which has been established and making a lot of profits is being prepared from 19.5 microns for say. So they realize that, okay, let's see, okay, if it is a 70-30 blend, so let's make it 69-31. So what happened? In 1%, there is no much difference, and they have calculated and they have presented to the top management. Okay, we are saving a lot of money at the end of the year, and there is no much quality difference as well. So these are the commercial decisions sometimes being advised, but then there is no end for such process. So today he has reduced 1%. The second person will see, okay, there is no difference. Let's go for the 60, 68%, 2%. Then there is no end for that. So it is the responsibility of the technician to give him the alternative for reducing the price. He should ask the question, what is your objective? You want to reduce the price of the product? How much? 2%, 5%, 10%, what is your target? Then technicians should also, because there are in the hand of the, there are a lot of areas covered in that. He can say that, okay, if I reduce the compromise in the raw material, my efficiency will be compromised by 1% or 2%. So let us compare where we are heading. So, I mean, and then if the quality is being also compromised, then the sales and marketing people should also be involved in that decision. So any decision in the organization is a scientific management or a professional management. Any such decisions are not being taken by and should not be taken by any individual, whether it is a technician, whether it is a commercial person. There has to be a proper understanding, and it has to be studied for the long-term basis. What are the implications for such decision? So same thing in a lot of sometimes spare parts are being purchased. Somebody will approach, sir, we are also producing the same quality of spare parts, and imported spare parts are too costly. So let us replace it. And then management feel that, yes, of course, purchase manager will also suggest to the management, sir, yes, this is a good quality, they should. So this is the challenge to the technician. He should come forward and take it as a challenge, and he should take stand wherever it is needed. And he should not be strict also. If he feels that, okay, trial can be taken, then it has to be in a systematic manner. A proper trial should be taken for a week, for a month, for 3 months, for 6 months, depending on the type of the particular spares. And then only decision should be taken. So there is a technical concern, there is a commercial concern. Business has to grow, business has to make a profit. The fate of every stakeholder is involved. So there is a responsibility of all the parties to sit together and take a conscious decision. That is the answer for the first part. I think second part is that, okay, yeah, as I mentioned in my earlier delivery, that technician should be aware whatever the decision he is taking in his particular area is related and should be related with the financial and commercial impact should be considered by him. If he take any decision and he don't understand the implications of the this decision into the business, so that may not be appropriate action by him. And he can only understand the business concept until unless he go through all these different elements of the business, he understand and he is being educated, then and only he can understand the commercial and financial impact of his steps for the business. Any steps being taken by him must give some implication on the finance and commercial side. So one has to, a technician should be also very, very clear that I am technician, I have to produce, I am responsible for the manufacturing, but he should also be clear what is the cost of that product, whether it is matching to the market competitor or not. That is his skill. So he should be fully involved in the business segments as well.
Okay, sir, very nicely explained. Second question is, sir, how much is the component management in textile industry actually playing a pivotal role in the growth factor of a particular enterprises? This is a very general question. I think actually industry profit and loss, growth and decay of the industry is governed by so many factors, like a government policies, raw material prices, in fluctuation in raw material prices, particularly in cotton industry, is also very important. Then what is the management component role, how actually it is playing?
See, to run any business, all the functional heads should be fully involved in any decision, and different areas of the business are equally important, whether it is a raw material, whether it is a HR part, man and power parts, whether it is a machineries parts, or sales or marketing, finance, Every elements of the business has to take a very important role, and there has to be a proper synchronization. If the production peoples must be clear about the requirement of the sales and marketing. Sales and marketing also should be very clear about the limitations of the production. They should not give any task to the management which is not possible, since the machineries are not suitable for that particular product. So this is the responsibility of sales and marketing. Finance peoples also should ensure that proper cash flow is being managed. They should on day-to-day basis discuss with the sales and marketing team, so the proper tools are being given on time to the production people. So it is the complete cycle, and everybody has to work in synchronization, and it is the job of the leader of the company or any organization to ensure that all the stakeholders are involved, and they should understand to each other. They should not work in the isolation. It's very important. And belongingness has to be created by the leader. Once it is done, then everybody will work for the same goal, same target, and there is no reason that business will not grow. Of course, internal and external factors will always be there. Raw material prices sometimes getting fluctuated. It will always happen. There has to be a proper purchase policies. They should on regular basis, good companies are purchasing the raw material on a regular basis and averaging out the prices. But their duty is there to ensure that the proper inventory levels are maintained. The inventory level should not be such high that financial costs are more. So inventory for the raw material, inventory for the finished good product, all those things, business cycle has to move very fast. That has to be fought by every functional heads in the organization.
Thank you, sir. There is one more queries from the Dr. Lavis Kumar. I think he is in Germany. He is asking, what are the essential factors that an entrepreneur should consider before establishing a new textile company? And how do you envision the future of technical textile business in India? His questions is related basically the growth of the technical textiles in India, and what should consider before establishing a new textile unit.
Yeah, this is a very elementary and basic question. I have given certain points in my book. Basic thing is that before thinking for going ahead for establishing any business, is a basic thing that one should do the SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, threat, and opportunity. So he should do the survey, selection of the sites, selection of the country, taxation in that country, what are the benefits, what are the incentive schemes in that country, whether the workforce, skilled workforce is available, technicians are available or not, logistic, what is the, how is the facility of logistic in that areas, where is the market, how you can promote your product, what is the consistency of that government policies are favorable or not. There are so many things I have given, I think more than 100 points. And other than that, once you are doing the SWOT analysis, you should understand what is the strength for that business, what are the weaknesses, and you should also study what are the risks. Risk management is also very important. You should thoroughly study. In any business, some business is always not moving in one direction on consistency basis. Some are sometimes ups and downs are always there. So if he is putting any business, he should also be ready to have some certain sustaining capacity. Most of the time it is seen that most of the people start the small business, and then due to cash flow issue, they can't survive, and then ultimately they have to surrender. So this is also very, very important. sales and marketing and sales has to be first thing. He has to identify if there is a market, then he should go for the proper selection of the machineries. Machineries are suitable for that product or not, whether he can compete in the market or not. Machineries should be versatile because there is a fast changing in the market. If the particular product is changed, whether he can produce the other type of product in that machineries or not. The manpower should be available properly. He has to retain them. So these are the basic things which he has to keep in mind. And so far the technical textile is concerned, yes, this is although not a new area now in India as well. Government of India was working for more than 15 years in that subject. Now in India also there are certain small, medium players are there. A lot of initiatives are being taken. I remember when I conducted a conference in Indore in textile, one of the stakeholders approached me that technical textile machineries are not covered under tough. So I was also surprised. So, and he wanted me to take up this matter. So I discussed with the then Textile Commissioner, Mr. Joshi, and I have taken that this is a really a surprise that Government of India is trying to promote the technical textile, and these its machineries are not covered under tough. So he has taken that subject, and after that, I think it was covered under tab. So technical textile has been interesting subject. It is a promising industry worldwide. In India, it is the beginning. Certain players are always there, but there is a wide scopes, and I'm sure in coming years in India also more and more players will be there, and there is a bright future because there are a lot of application in the technical textile field which in India it is just not being applied. So there is a huge market for the technical textile in coming days. There is a bright future.
Bajpayee, rest of the questions we will take now.
Okay.
We will take in. They may be sent to Secretary NISTI registered.
Okay. Sir, there is one pending request from the RD Pandey sir. So now I am requesting him to take his question directly to Upadhyay ji.
Okay.
And this will be the last question.
Okay.
RD Pandey sir.
Yeah. Very good evening, Dr. Lal Bhai Sahab and my all seniors. There may be some disturbance because I am traveling, but it is audible, Ian?
Yes,
yes. Yeah.
You are audible.
Am I audible? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will take only, Lal Bhai Sahab, I will take only 2 minutes.
No issue.
Arvind Upadhyay Sahab, I think he has used his foresight to give the name of this book as Textile Management. He would have kept the name Textile Technology, Miracle of Textile Technology, or any other name, but Textile Management. So already we have talked about the techno-commercial. So what I think that the earlier what happened, the technician was still technicians are valuable, but what is happening earlier in up to I think 90s, the secret of technicians' value was only the technical expertise. For example, we have also seen that with the help of only technical knowledge, the technicians build up their values. But over a period, with the development of knowledge, I would say, even the owners and other mill proprietors, they also became some. They got education. So now it is very much essential that a good technician should know the management part of the his portfolio. So technically, technicians means the technological knowledge is enough. But if that management means the general management, the technicians are not aware. For example, as Upadhyay bhai sahab said that the technician, good technician, even unit head, up to this time also, they are not aware of GST. They are not aware of how the invoicing is done and all that. So this is the basic knowledge. And now the definitions are also changing. For example, I'm very happy to share that the topic of that cost reduction. Now it is not the case that we can reduce the cost by cutting the direct cost. Means reduce the manpower and the cost will be reduced. No. I think we have to think in a different way that without changing the good manpower, means who is able to give better results, better productivity, and good housekeeping, everything good. So rather keeping one more will be advisable. And I'm saying I have also done some studies when I was in Reliance that if a technician is able to increase realization in a spinning unit by 0.1%, then if annual profit is calculated, it comes in crores. And similarly, if the technician is available to reduce the waste by 0.1, 0.2% even, so it contributes a lot. So that way of cost reduction should be followed. This will not be the right approach. Still many mill owners are following that. Yes, we have to reduce the cost, reduce the manpower, reduce the technician, which is highly paid. So we are to think in different way. I'm very happy that today NISTI has organized this interview, and this book is I think जो मील का पत्थर है. और उपाध्याय भाई साहब से मैं ये गुजारिश करूंगा, प्रार्थना करूंगा कि बुक का प्राइस ज्यादा है, आप थोड़ा रिलायंस वाली पॉलिसी अपनाएं कि वॉल्यूम ज्यादा कर दीजिए, आपका वो उसमें बराबर हो जाएगा. So
I understand that the pricing part is not in my hand. It is being decided by the publisher, and on my request, he has accepted to give 25-30% discount.
Yes, you have informed. Okay.
Bhai Sahab, can I, Lal Bhai Sahab, can I take the responsibility of marketing of this book?
Yes, sure. Why not? Why not?
So I can sell this book. I can sell the volume.
Yes.
Because,
Okay.
You can sell, you will also get some incentive.
You directly.
Upadhyay Bhai Sahab, this book should reach at least up to every unit head of the unit head.
Correct.
And
Raj D. Pandey, this is not the objective of this interview. You can discuss directly with Mr. Upadhyay.
right, sir, right.
He is your GCTN, you are GCTN, whatever
Yeah, I know very well. I know very
does
well.
for another GCTN, that is always good. Now,
Yeah.
Dr. R.K. Gupta, he has something to say, and then I will request Dr. Sandbag to give his final remark, and then vote
Okay,
of
sir.
thanks
Thank
by
you
Dr.
very much.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you,
Raj.
Mr. Pandey.
Mr. Gupta, R.K. Gupta. Are you there? He is there. Mute. Unmute yourself. R.K. Gupta ji, unmute yourself.
हाँ जी बताइए लाल साहब.
हाँ, क्या कह रहे हैं आप? कुछ कह रहे थे चैट बॉक्स
नहीं, I was hearing, Upadhyay ji explained lot of points. And Pandey requested that book should be available at lower cost. I am
Yes,
happy
yes,
that
that is
Pandey
already
did not say
covered.
this should be available free of cost.
That is already. वो गुप्ता बनिया वाली बुद्धि मत लगाओ. चलो ठीक है. Dr. Shanbag, please give your final comments, and then Dr. Surendra Kumar.
Dr. Lal, thank you. In the world of knowledge and particularly professional knowledge with a sharp practical edge, every new contribution by an author is always welcome. I think Mr. Upadhyay, with his very long experience in the industry, has touched upon the A to Z of textile management, which obviously will be valuable from not only to practitioners but also to students. In this last 1 hour, I think he has made very interesting anecdotes in different functional areas. And obviously an hour is not going to do justice to the wealth of content that that his book is expected to be having. And maybe it might be useful or at least worthwhile for NISTI to think in terms of 1 or 2 other events where Mr. Upadhyay is able to touch upon 2 or 3 critical areas of textile management in his experience in great detail throughout the duration of the presentation. So I would restrict my remarks to that. It's been wonderful listening to him, and I really appreciate that NISTI has been able to, have him present the critical parts of the book today. Thank you, Mr. Upadhyay, and we hope to be hearing more from you in time to come.
Thank you, Dr. Shanbag. Now I invite Dr. Surendra Kumar to say vote of thanks. And before that, another query to Mr. Upadhyay: how is your cricket and other activities, curricular activities, extracurricular activities?
It's a long. In fact, you know that I was athletes during my educational life. I was a racer, 100, 200, 400, 800, and 1500. And I was not really a good cricketer, but I was a footballer. So, but after entering the industries, every activity was stopped, and that was the unfortunate.
You are not able to keep pace with that.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, Mr. Surendra Kumar.
Thank you, Dr. Lal. At the outset, it gives me an immense pleasure to thank the chairman, NISTI, Dr. Lal, for allowing me to deliver vote of thanks for this event. On behalf of NISTI, it is an honor to have the opportunity to express my appreciation to all the dignitaries present over here. I extend my sincere thanks to the chief speaker, Sri A.K. Upadhyay ji, for dissemination your valuable inputs regarding the book which you have published. And I do hope that this book shall be very much useful to the textile fraternity and the technocrats in their day-to-day life. And this book, as you have deliberate, that this contained a lot of cost-effective measures and how to start the new enterprise, moreover commercial and financial aspects you have covered very well. So no doubt this book will be very much beneficial to the, not only to the technocrats or the final year students of BTech, but also to the whole textile fraternity, those who are connected with the textiles directly or indirectly in this field, and those who want to start their own organizations right from the ABCD, from zero. So I do hope that this book will be very much benefit to them. And definitely the deliberation have a brief, the contents of the book, which shall be definitely help the textile fraternity. So in the last, I can say I'm grateful to all the delegates of this webinar for their presence and the efforts in making this event successful. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I am giving a last thank to everybody for making this event very successful and for their precious time which they have taken out to join us, Mr. Upadhyay, as well as all participants, including Mr. Prabhunath Pandey and R.K. Gupta ji, Basen ji, everyone, not to name one. Everyone has given his precious time to make this event successful, and we hope to meet you again. And thank you, Mr. Upadhyay, and everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Lal, for providing me this wonderful platform. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very
Lal.
much.
Thank you.